Hey, what's going on, Guardians? My name is the Black Link, and today is March 7th, 2019. The season of the Drifter is live, we're a few days into it, and we're about to learn a little bit more about some of the content that's still ahead, including new details about the advanced tiers of the Reckoning, our first hints at what's coming with the Allegiance quest, as well as the exotic quest for the Thorn launching next week on March 12th. Let's go ahead and dive on into this week's issue of the Bungie Weekly blog, This Week at Bungie. And of course, things start out with the Reckoning, the brand new in-game pinnacle PvE game mode that you unlock after you've won your very first game of Gambit Prime. There's a lot of mystery surrounding this game mode, and we'll be learning more and more about it, the Nine, and their relationship with the Drifter as this patch goes on. But in the TWAB this week, they take a little bit of time to talk about what's going to be coming next with the Reckoning, including Tier 2, which is set to drop this Friday, March 8th. Here's what they had to say. Tier 1 of the Reckoning was your first step. From here, the challenges and the rewards escalate. Tier 2 goes live tomorrow and ups the difficulty, adding additional objectives, areas, and a new boss to the battle. Next Friday, we'll up the ante one more time. Tier 3 is considered in-game content, requiring power level 680 to enter and meant to offer a worthy challenge to all you powerful Guardians as you gear up to max power this season. The activity is set to 690, so bring your best gear. We recommend forming up a fire team for coordination, but matchmaking is still available to you. And there we go, they're giving us our first real hints at what's going to be going live when Reset comes around tomorrow. Seems like they're confirming that we will be having different objectives to complete in different tiers of the Reckoning. For Tier 1, of course, it's mainly just an enemy rush. You have to defeat enough enemies within a certain period of time to spawn a boss, and then you have to kill that boss before the clock runs out. It's pretty simple. And it looks like while Tier 2 may be similar in concept, it might have some different objectives. We mentioned this on the podcast for this week. But in the image they gave us here, it shows the Guardian standing in a lit up circle. So I'm wondering if it's going to be more of a test of will, kind of king of the hill sort of objective, where you need to hold a specific point against a growing horde of taken enemies. Given how the modifiers and damage levels of the enemies in the Reckoning can be pretty crazy, I could see that being a pretty difficult challenge, especially when you consider some of the bosses we've already seen within the Reckoning. Completing Tier 2 will get you better rewards, and the same can be said for Tier 3, which is going to go live next Friday on March 15th. I know I've really been enjoying the Reckoning game mode thus far, although I do think they could probably tweak some of those negative modifiers out of there. Yesterday's glass modifier in Reckoning was absolutely awful. I have no idea why that modifier is even still used in the game. But I am really looking forward to what Tier 2 and Tier 3 are going to be bringing to us starting tomorrow on March 8th. But anyways, let's move on to some of the quests we're going to be getting access to next week. Next up, they talk about the Thorn and Allegiance quests. Here's what they had to say. Next week, we also have the Thorn quest kicking off on March 12th. A mysterious spot in the EDZ holds a clue. Seek it out to start your journey in search of the hand cannon shrouded in darkness. At the same time you set off in search of Thorn, the Allegiance quest will become available. This offers you a choice. Stand with the Vanguard or cast your lot with the Drifter. The choice is made per character, so if you have multiple characters, they can each choose their own path. So if you want to see both sides of that story, you will be able to so long as you have multiple characters on your account. And this, Guardians, is what of course I'm really excited for. We talked a bit about the Allegiance quest last week. And I love the fact that we're getting kind of a rolling narrative here where we can kind of choose one side or the other. I don't expect it to be that in-depth, but I do definitely think it bodes well for where we can go with our characters when it comes to balancing maybe the light and the dark in future releases. And then, of course, we have the quest for Thorn. I am so excited for this. It goes live next Tuesday as well on March 12th, and is seemingly going to function very much like the quest for the Last Word, where it's going to be a multi-step quest that's probably going to be a little bit on the difficult side, but you should be able to get it done all in one sitting, if you're really dedicated. Now thankfully, we actually know quite a bit about the Thorn quest itself. If you head over to any of the Destiny database websites like light.gg, you can actually find the Thorn quest. It's titled Independent Study, and you can see for the most part most of the steps that are going to be required there. Looks like it's going to be a big 7-part quest that ends in a manner very similar to the way the original quest ended way back in Year 1 of Destiny 1. And while this does give us a quick overview of the quest steps, It doesn't give us many of the minute details for like exact numbers of what we'll be collecting and killing when we're going through the quest to get this weapon. But if you want to check it out in its entirety, I'll leave a link to this page down in the description box below. So you can go stay up to date on all the steps you'll have to complete in order to get the Thorn next week. But alright, lastly for the March 12th releases, Gambit Prime will also be featuring a new map, Deep 6. Invitations of the 9 and Reckoning Tier 3 will be available on March 15th. Keep your eyes on these dates, the Drifter's gonna have a few new tricks up his sleeve. So there we go, that covers the scheduling releases we're going to be having next week. The last thing we really need to talk about is the next big Bungie bounty. That's right, in coming weeks, we're going to have several Bungie bounties taking place on Xbox, PS4, and the PC platform. The game mode this time around is going to be Gambit Prime, and the rules are the same as usual. Head into matchmaking on the specified dates, March 13th at 10 AM Pacific for Xbox, the 20th at 10 AM Pacific for PS4, and April 3rd at 10 AM Pacific for the PC platform. See if you can match up with some of the community managers and take them down to earn a very special emblem. I wish you luck and happy hunting, Guardians. But alright, that's pretty much it for the biggest bits of news that came out of this week's TWAB. There really wasn't too much else to announce there besides the news about the Bungie bounty, as well as some clarifications about the Reckoning and the content releases we'll be seeing over the next week or so. I'm having an absolute ton of fun with Season of the Drifter thus far. I'm really enjoying the loop of doing Gambit Prime, jumping into the Reckoning, and then heading back into the Gambit mode with my new gear. And I can't wait to dive into Tier 2 tomorrow and see what else is in store for us. But alright Guardians, that is going to be it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. How do you feel about Gambit Prime and the Reckoning thus far? Are you having a good time with it? And do you think that some of the modifiers could possibly be a little bit different? I tell you what, that glass modifier was rough in there. Really not that fun. But either way, be sure to let me know. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest stuff we're putting out. But alright, I'm out for now. As always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.